an arrow. He was barely in range of that sentry. I don't even think he was. Now down bottom, Ice Ice, still in trouble. We'll miss that torrent. Looks like Moo's actually the one getting right-clicked down now, and Ice Ice will be able to stay alive.
They don't have the silence yet, so killing Moo is very difficult, even with the level 1 Timber Chain. Ideally level 3 here on Innocence. Instead, might look for Misery. They do have an ensnare, but Moo's up in front.
He's the body blocker, and he's going to be the bodyguard, getting the kill on the Pudge with the Whirling Death on a right-click.
All right, where's the all chat well played from Moo?
Top lane, there's an invis, at least Shadow Demon coming up here. Disruption's going to come through, and it's already starting with Resolution on that Luna. The illusions will go through. They'll try to clear out whatever mines are here. That's a great idea from the side of DC, and it looks like, well, there's no mines at least, so yeah, that doesn't really matter.
It's definitely an important point is that Shadow Demon is very annoying for techies, as you can just run illusions around to try and clear out traps. Later on in the game, maybe even a gem is on a hero at times, and you can use those true sight illusions to scout out for potential traps. So looking at the way the game's developing, it's a big concern for Waynes. The Naga is not farming particularly well in the tri-lane. Timbersaw is already level 4, so that off-lane is a complete disaster. In the mid lane, Blink is only slightly ahead of the Invoker, who has gotten some help. And this is actually the other hero besides Meepo that he really rose to prominence on. He can take games over as Invoker. I don't feel like they have the best Invoker counters later on in the game. So that's 2 lanes not going well. Now on top of that, Luna is your lead farmer. It is not a good start for Waynes at all.
Sunstrike with the Shadow Poison, the Disruption. Sunstrike on top, and he does leap away just in time. Wings is able to get out. Blink will be able to move away.
Still, he's running for his life, and Invoker's free farming.
3 off. He had gotten 4. That might have been a kill, but I don't think 3 is enough to do it. Not even, I mean, especially with level 1.
Only a level 1 Shadow.
Yeah, it will not do nearly enough damage.
And now with Timbersaw having the advantage, it gets a lot harder to kill him. Skywrath is the hero they need there if they want to go for kills. Still not seeing really much of a trap, just looks like a single landmine top. Soxa walks over a solitary one.
It tickles him a little bit, but there's another one in lane. He's going to walk over it as he disrupts, maybe not. Torrent to set this up as well, and the Sunstrike. Boom! They will get the kill, and they will lose their techies on Wings.
When they're confident, DC are confident enough to just come in and gank the techies. Normally, techies lane is like the no-go zone. It's less so the case since the big chain reworked to mines after TI5, but they're still moving in. They're looking for another kill here top on Shadow. And with the turret, the nuke from the Luna, they will find it. Wings, this might be a very quick game 1 the way things are headed. Already trailing 2,000 gold, 1,500 experience. We have not seen techies offer much. He is leveling up Suicide Squad mod. A hook is probably an instant suicide kill because they really need to do something to shut down these cores.
This is not a great start for Wings. We don't have to say it. We talked about it in the beginning of the game. They didn't get off to a fast start, and then it was going to be trouble. At least Blink is farming well with 31 last hits, but again, the Luna also continues to do so for Resolution. There's a free farm lane now for Moo down bottom, which is, of course, exactly what happened top lane at the beginning of this game. It just feels like Wings are rotating around every lane to try to find something. Maybe not mid just yet, but top lane, bottom lane, they weren't successful, obviously. Where do they go from here? What do they do? It looks like they're going to smoke up, but...
They're running a trio that wants to be getting kills. Pudge, techies, at this stage of the game, especially if you're going to max Suicide Squad, or at least take 3 points in it right away, you want to convert this into hero kills. Slow down some of these scaling cores, kill the Invoker before he gets his Midas. Speaking of which, they are moving in mid, but if you don't do that, then at that point the plan B for Waynes is to just play the turtle game. They have a Naga, a Mirana, and a techies. These heroes can crush waves for days, and in good news for them, their towers have not taken much damage, but plus Exort Invoker, Luna with Shadow Demon Illusions, they can push pretty hard, and they can push fairly safely, even against Techie's traps. So Wings holding onto the outer towers, that's their big plan B if they can't find kills, but again, it's still a plan B. It's not the game plan they had in mind when they started this.
Good news is for Wings is that DC are going to have to spend a lot of money investing in sentries and trying to bring down mines as much as possible. That's at least something going their way. Down bottom, Faith Beyond has rotated. Moo is trying to push this tier 1 tower. He's doing a pretty good job of it. Faith Beyond's right clicks are not very good. But
yeah, bear in mind, Suicide Squad is physical damage. So against the Timbersaw with 25 plus armor right now, Techies it's not the ideal target to be going for a kill. He does have the remote mines now. He's going to start laying a trap. They leave 4 heroes top, so they abandoned mid lane. Wings just consistently abandoning lanes. But it's not like they're getting a farm advantage here, Mont. They're getting out-farmed by pretty much all the DC cores right now.
Yeah. I mean,
when is it going to change?
You know, the one, again, bright spot again is going back to that Mirana, but I think the Mirana has to start getting involved with arrows or just farming kills.
They're moving top.
Torrent's going to connect. Shadow will be next. Lucent Beam, and he doesn't have Song. They miss out on the hook, unfortunately, from Ice Ice. Moonlight Shadow will go, but...
You know, one thing I was going to mention, which the draft analyst didn't really touch on, is that Punch Hook can also be really strong defensively. If your ally's getting caught, like Disruption, Torrent, you know where they're going to be. Even the X, you can hook them out right after the X comes. Potentially a very good defensive spell, but hey, if you're hooking your own Skywrath who's not even being targeted, then that is not going to work. So there's some potential for the Pudge to turn these ganks around, but we're just not seeing it. Really nothing working for Wings with this unusual draft.
I mean, DC are the ones being aggressive against this lineup. The Sunstruck's gonna hit. It looks like the Torrent will as well, and Innocence will barely survive right now. The Lucent Beam coming in. Blink now with a haste rune and a double damage rune. Meanwhile, Saksa does get the kill. He will go down, but he does get the turret off before falling against that Skywrath Mage. And that tier 1 tower, it does end up going down in that bottom lane as well. DC continue to just roll over Wings.
And they're still looking to go on top. There is no Song yet. Shadow, ideal time to gank a Naga.
Sunstrike, can he get it done? No, Ice Ice will get the kill, but now back to top. Shadow still in trouble.
Doesn't have Song. He's very close, Mod. He's going to try to juke in the trees. Resolution completely gets his ankles broken. And now, concussive shot. Net, can they turn on him?
Shadow's coming in. TP out. Resolution. He will be able to make it away. Nothing to stop that TP.
No Song yet. Still, though, Eclipse, a very long cooldown as far as carry ultimates go. So, nice job there by Wings. They're doing some of these little things right. They are still getting out-farmed. Weeha did end up dying, and that is probably the ideal hero to be killing, especially since he hasn't gotten his Midas yet. I'm still waiting to see the Techies effect, though. Often at least very good at stopping pushes. That's not really the case here, as his tower drops nice and early to the Timbersaw. Yet to see any suicides that result in kills, or really any impact at all from Faith Beyond whatsoever. So, does grab the Soul Ring. It just lends credence to the idea that Wings are more counting on the Techies to turtle, stall the game, and drag it super late with the Naga Siren. But is it a game where Naga and Mirana can carry? There's a lot of ways to deal with Naga illusions. I'm not entirely sure that they can just rely on, like, oh, we have auto late game against this team. Plus, really good scaling support. Shadow Demon, Kunkka, Pudge, yeah, in theory he could scale with Fleshy, but he's not getting kills.
It's just this aggression, though, from DC. They might not get to the late game. The Torrent comes out, will miss under Shadow, luckily enough. We yet to see Moo being involved in any of these kills from DC, with the exception of the early game fights down bottom. They'll go for the tower. They really want this tier 1, and they've done a good job of trying to focus down each tower individually. There are some heroes setting up defense in the top lane, looking to maybe wrap around and try to find a target, including that Skywrath Mage. But for now, they're just everyone sitting in the tree line here for Wings, LD.
DC are just farming all 3 lanes. Their cores are pulling dramatically ahead now. Techies with 29 CS, Naga with 43. All of the DC cores at 50 plus. You're going to win the farm war by default. Arrow, though, could change this. Nice juke there by Saksa as he just calmly walks back. So even the arrow's not connecting. Who is going to take over and change the course of the game? Ice Ice, now level 7, has the max range hook. Pudge, Techies, they've been silent. These are heroes that need to find kills. Is this going to be the big moment for Ice Ice to take over? Radiant team lacking vision, but they've got 4 heroes top.
Smoked up Weeha is also up in the top lane.
They haven't skilled Song yet. He's going to miss the hook. Wings, you got to hit something.
They hit nothing there. Both arrow and hook not connecting either target. Faith Beyond TPing in, and it looks like Weeha's going to set this up. Eclipse will come through. Blank doesn't make it out in time. Leap not successful. Saksa, he's going to be the one to go down, but the ghost tip onto 2 with the Torrent. A double kill for Weeha.
It's a slaughter, and they're looking for more. Sunstrike just barely missing on Faith Beyond. They get 4 more. They lose only a Shadow Demon, and that's without Moo. Moo's not even there. This hero might be their strongest at this stage of the game, and he's just farming bottom. Weeha going for the Midas, immediately back to the mid lane. This is turning into a train wreck.
Moo's like, I'm not fighting out my Bloodstone yet. Forget it. Hold on a second. Let me get that. I'll come back to you. Weeha has his Midas now, like you talked about. He's building into the drum, of course, with the Akil on top. So just this straight standard build for Aquastic Zord Invokers, and DC continue to pressure. There's a couple of remote mines placed down, but really Faith Beyond has not done anything in terms of really anything, actually. He's not even used his suicide squad once this game. He's not found any mines.
And he brought it to level 3. He invested a lot in it. Only the 1 point in Stasis Trap is, we'll catch a replay here. Ice. The Eclipse comes out first. They had a Sentry Ward. They were ready for the Moonlight Shadow initiation. That's something that Wings were able to catch DC off guard with quite a bit last game. So looking forward, DC, this is the dream gem game. You're up against the Techies as well as Moonlight Shadow.
Yeah.
You can also easily just scout with the disruption illusions of any hero that has the gem. I think gem is a pretty hard counter to the Wings lineup.
I think you put it on Mu as well. I mean, maybe not a melee hero, but Mu is so tanky that it might not matter. Again, like you talked about with all that physical damage reduction with the armor coming out. Hook coming through again, missing for Faith Beyond. Or excuse me, Ice rather. Faith Beyond on that Techies. Now the disruption coming out. Torrent combination not there, but Timber Chain in. Demonic Purge onto Innocent.
Where's that hook? Come on, Ice. Doesn't need it. A nice silence on Mu. And DC, there's really no need to force the issue here. They're out farming them. They feel confident in their late game. Blink, Ags is coming at an okay clip for the Mirana, but he's not finding kills. Pudge and Techies are basically not even heroes in this game, to be honest, as the two have combined for a 1-4 score. Techies, the other nice thing this hero offers is tower pressure, but we haven't seen that either. He's not been sieging towers. In fact, all the DC towers are at full HP, so really, what is the Techies doing? It's just not coming together for Wings.
Getting ready for late game. I don't know. That's all I can do.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, if you're Wings, you're looking at Mirana Ags, Naga Radiance, Turtle. Try to stall with some pickoffs, but play for ultra late game because the laning stage long over at this point, and DC completely in the driver's seat.
Blink will send himself down to the bottom lane alongside two other heroes, Innocence and Ice, backing him up. Ready to go with a hook, an HNCL, Mystic Flare, whatever they can get. They don't even have Mystic Flare yet. No level 6 on the Scoureth Mage, so they're also lacking in levels. And look at his net worth. He's only got 700. No boots yet for the Scoureth Mage, so this is a rough game for that support, unfortunately.
It's okay. He's got above average base move speed. He's got the wind lace. No, that's pretty bad, though, if your Scoureth still doesn't have boots at 15 minutes.
Just feels like at every turn, DC outplaying them, outlaning them, finding kills.
And the plan Bs are limited for Wings. I mean, we see Mirana walk into Roshan, hit him once, but as I was going to say, they can't really just go back to Roshan like a Drow lineup can. They struggle to take towers if Techies isn't right up in front, just constantly dropping landmines. And at some point, DC will commence their slow siege. They're disrupting the Luna, they're stacking Ancients, he does have the Dominator. Once the Luna gets 1-2 items, Weehaw gets a couple of items. He can be the one split pushing while they just sit behind the Luna. You can even use the Exalt. There's a hook top, finally!
They got him, and the remote mines to finish him off. It's one support kill, but at least it feels like so much more for Wings at this point.
Jesus, they had to work for that, though. 15.5 minutes before that combo connects.
Misery was actively farming the enemy jungle as well, underneath an Observer Ward. That's how that was done. It just seems like they need an Observer Ward. They need to be having heroes out of position just for them to get those kills in a lot of instances.
I think Gem is the most important item for DC this game.
I'm going to hold off on building it for the time being. We'll see them just farm away. Misery now, again, building into that Harmlet, which is so good at keeping you alive. The rest of DC, maybe thinking about a smoke with Misery as well as Weehaw and Soxa nearby. And they'll do so and head towards that mid lane and try to at least get some vision down, but hopefully find a kill.
That's a 10,000 gold deficit. A steep hill to climb for Wings. Radiant Vision does scout out Shadow. They're still smoked. He senses it, Maud. Dire Scan it did just clip resolution there for a second. So now they know.
And Misery walking back through as well. So Wings are forced to go to the bottom side of the map, including their secret shop as well as hard camp there and try to farm in this bottom lane. But for now, there is more split push coming from Resolution, looking to use his glaives and work on that tier 2 tower top lane. So again, more map control going the way of DC unless Wings decide to maybe group up and fight. But right now, that doesn't seem to be the case. No smokes on anybody that I can see.
And DC can just siege very safely. Disrupt the Luna. She'll have Manta soon. You could scout for the landmine traps if there were any. There's a couple remote mines around. Doesn't look like there's any. Oh, there is one remote mine trap in the trees, but just scout safely, siege safely, use Forge Spirits, poke. They don't have to commit bodies, and if they do want to throw a hero up there, they have the disruption and the X, so they have really good defensive capabilities to allow for a very organized and disciplined siege. And I imagine that's what we're going to see from DC moving forward.
Here we go. The remote mine's starting to be placed down on the high ground, so Dragon Lance might be an item the Luna wants to invest in at some point in time to at least stay a little bit safer. Weeha's Boots of Travel now done. Let's see what the Naga Siren is dealing with. Shadow has Arcane Boots, 3,000 gold, so
he is
close to the
really
relic.
Poor at this point.
Yeah,
0-3.
He's very far behind.
98 CS. He's 40 CS down on a Luna. And this goes back to the offensive tri-lane just completely self-destructing. And along with that, DC taking early towers, it's limited the safe space on the map to farm. Naga just doesn't feel comfortable to go out on her own.
This Naga Siren pretty far behind at this point. At 18 minutes in, you'd like to have a lot more. And now the Mantis Tower is done for the Luna. That's a no BKB, no Dragon Lance, just going to the straight Helm of the Dominator into the Mantis style, and has plenty of stacks to work with as well. So even more farm coming the way of the Luna, about to eclipse 10K net worth at this point. And there is that gem that you were talking about. Probably, like you said, the most important investment in this game for DC.
Now, you know, way back in the day, when nobody was playing techies, before he was even introduced in Dota 2, he was a very popular hero in the Philippines, at Dota 1. And there was a techie specialist. He stood in for a team at a tournament. He was playing really well. He actually went solo mid. He was dominating the game. The enemy team got a gem, but it was taken away very quickly, like almost immediately after they got the gem. The difference in that game, though, was like the opponents needed the gem because Techie still had his tower mid. He was still in complete control of the game. The hero was a bit scared as a map control hero. It was way before the changes to the landmines. They did a lot more damage in single instances, and at that point, losing the gem meant you couldn't deal with techies. I don't really feel like this is that kind of game. This is more like if you have gem, techies really struggles to get anything done. So it's more of a bonus in this case. But yeah, you can see what I mentioned like 15, 20 minutes ago, that, you know, disruption illusions with the gem, the Manta illusions with the gem.
Oh, the remote mines.
Lots of ways to scout, but you can't scout into the trees, so that's something DC will have to be cautious about. Good news is they have someone that hates trees. It's Timbersaw. Moo's just going to start shredding them.
Misery actually took a fair bit of damage from the mines there. It felt like an old-timey story. I'm glad you shared that with us. That was pleasant.
Harkening back.
Yeah.
Feeling old this time.
Enjoyed the brief story glimpse.
They also have ways to scout the Pudge, but as I say that...
Resolution silenced up. He's in trouble. Defensive disruption is not there in time. Ice will gladly give his life, but now Blink, he might have to give his as well. Expert's back, and his song, it'll stop everything. What a pick-off for Wings.
Techie's already back to base. DC giving up a kill there. I was going to say they have really good ways to scout the Pudge, but they didn't actually have a Forge Spirit back behind the tower. So I think in general when DC are sieging, really want to be sending an Illusion or a Forge Spirit, constantly looking for the Pudge. They do have deep wards. It's not like they're not trying. And that's something that should happen when you pick Pudge, is you should be able to at least occasionally find those hooks, catch someone off guard. Shadow Demon, no Force or Blink yet. That would be a really good choice for Soxa. With that item, with either of those items, he could jump in and still save the Luna in that situation.
It just feels like it's a little too late, though, with that hook almost. And
they need a lot more of that.
Yeah.
Like they ideally want to be finding one of those every time DC pushes. But now the tree clearing begins. DC going to start a spot of dewarding here. They'll just send an illusion of Moo in to deal with these, actually a pair. Meanwhile, bottom, Blink is setting up a resolution.
Misery.
He hits the arrow, big catch, and then he leaps in. Can he kill up Resolution? He's a bit too tanky.
Eclipse is going to come through. Resolution, I think, the hook will finish him off. The Ghost Ship. Blink actually dodges it narrowly. The timing wasn't there. Now Misery's in trouble.
Oh, Ice looking for a second kill. He's going to get it. Nice pick off by the Pudge, but he might pay with his life. Moo guns him down, and now Mirana forced to TP away. This does free up the mid lane for Papa Techies. Faith Beyond finally getting to drop landmines on towers for the first time this game.
That's a good start.
They're looking for Shadow.
If they find Shadow, he's TPing out. Weeha sees him. Cold Snap will come through the meatball. No song available this time. I don't think he had his, of course, Radiance completed.
He was close, though. That's a costly death. Really negates almost everything they achieved there.
Yeah.
Makes it a 2 for 2. Delays a key item timing. The Techies Ags is coming. And they do, I believe, now have the Mirana BOTs, so they pick up 2 big items, but DC with the Timbersaw, they just keep on clearing out trees, calmly plinking away at the traps. making sure there's nothing hidden around corners and limit Wayne's ability to find those cheap little pickoffs.
There must be 3 or 4 there. Yeah, it looks like there was 4 there altogether. They killed 1 as well.
So what do you do now?
I mean, for Wings, you gotta keep setting those. Oh, they get a hook on move. That's what they do. And the Mystic Flare with the Ancient Seal, but he's still so tanky. The X Marks is coming in Ice again. Might get caught this time, LD. But
DOT's in from the Marana. Wants to fight this. They don't kill the creep. Blink, though, still wants to back away, and DC chase forward.
He's going to get caught by the Torrent. Will that bring him down? It's the Demonic Purge that does so.
No suicide there. Gives up another kill. DC. Pick off after pick off, tower after tower, but they do find another. It doesn't really matter. Moo just chuckles. He's now picked up the pipe. Further defensive capabilities against this one-hit combo that Wings have, and also a great way to deal with Marana and Radiance Burn. Really, if you look at Wings, it's almost all magic damage.
Yeah.
Late game, Marana could go into right-click build, but she doesn't have the Drow Ranger this time around to buff her up. Nice pick by Blink Bottom. Sniping the Kunkka. Misery not able to armlet toggle his way out.
They're going to go to Roche right now, though. They're going to try to contest this song.
This is the Pudge dream. This is the Pudge dream, Mott. If ever there was a time for a Pudge to come up big, now is it.
DC will back out smartly. That Roshan was very dangerous, like you talked about. The hook, and not to mention the song or an arrow coming through. Some serious damage. Blink in from the Marana, leap out also is available, but now Blink has to use it.
DC should just be patient. Wings cannot Roche. They don't need to Roche now. They can wait until they have 5 alive. Go in as a squad. The boat is an important component of their team fight. There's really no need to force a Roshan 4v5.
There's some wards that have been just placed down. It looks like DC will again counter ward them. This Gem doing so much work this game, especially against that Techies. And they'll continue to put wards down of their own and gain map control. At the very least, Wings, they haven't needed to defend high ground yet. They haven't needed to put down those remote mines up on the high ground. So we'll see how that transitions. And they will head back into Roche.
Yeah, still holding on to the Gem on Moo. Still, as a result, able to keep up vision. They save Faith Beyond, lighting some traps. If he pokes too much closer, they could go. There's the hook.
They didn't get the Aegis from Resolution in time. The Tornado
Somebody
take
take it.
Suicide Squad. And he will end up staying alive. The Disruption keeping him up and ready to go. The Silence, the Arcane Bolt won't kill him. And they bring down 3.
There was a Naga illusion in the pit there. I thought Shadow might be able to at least deny the Aegis, but even that wasn't possible. So 3 fall in the end. Song available. This might just be a farming Aegis for DC, honestly. I think they can go high ground, but I don't feel like Wings is getting stronger either. And you can see Moo just diving this Naga. Has absolutely no fear. He's going to force out the song.
Yeah, that is a level 2 song. But the Sunstrike, is it going to do enough damage? Boom! Yes, it does. Weehaw gets the kill. Wow.
You see a draft like this on the main stage of TI, and yes, Wings like their unconventional picks, but you can only imagine they have practiced this, and it has worked before. The Techies instantly securing level 2 in the jungle to start the game, then he heads top. It felt like they had a plan with the tri-lane. It just, DC, that early rotation for Misery, that to me was the key play that prevented Wings from getting momentum in the tri-lane, gave the Timbersaw a good start, and now begins the Disruption Illusion Siege. With Forged Spirits here, Wings need big hooks.
Oh.
It's going to be tough, though. There's an Aether Lens on Soxa now once he gets here, so he has better disruption range. They can also use the X on Misery if they want to send someone in safely for the chip damage.
Faith Beyond running low on mana right now. Only has about 3 mines set up in that trap to the right. You have Faith Beyond sitting back. Blink will jump in, look for a target. The hook, they'll get an illusion instead. Tier 3 tower now down. The Glaive starting to chop through. I've seen this before.
They got to find a pickoff soon, Mott.
Not finding anything just yet for Wings.
Oh, even the arrow missing. That could have been the Luna's death, maybe.
They get Moo on top of the mines. He'll stay alive, saves his trap, and he will fall.
That's the Gem down.
The Eclipse coming through, doing some work. They have the Moonlight Shadow up. It's too dead for Wings. Doesn't respawn from...
Marana could do some work here, but already Timbersaw is back in.
Yeah, so quick. Plenty of charges, and it's a full set of racks, it looks like. I'll let the range creeps deal with, of course, that ranged racks, and now they'll head to the top lane, get the tier 3 tower. X marks will come through. It'll be up onto the Techies. He'll get caught with the Torrent. The Glaive's hitting him.
They can't even walk near the racks. The bouncing Glaives just hurt too much. DC, 2 lanes down, and no signs of stopping. They immediately rotate bottom. This pocket strategy has completely backfired.
Wings are just getting crushed in this game too. This, like you said, this pocket strategy, it's not accomplishing what they wanted. It comes down to that Fairy Fire as well as Torrent in the beginning of the game. Now, not only a Torrent, but a Ghost Ship coming through, allowing them to push even further, and that's
It's over, Mott. GG. Wings get stomped. Down 20K gold. They never led this game with a pudge of techies and a pocket strategy that just didn't pan out. But credit to DC. They saw something unexpected, at least. I think the techies was unexpected. Not sure if the pudge was, as Wings have run it before. And they adapted really well.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much really to talk about that game. It's just unfortunate Wings that, like you said, they might have tried that strategy before, and it more than likely worked. That's why they're bringing it out here on TI in the main stage. And of course, it does mean that we get more heroes picked, but still, it's not successful. So I appreciate the effort from them, but DC, they have a strategy of their own. It's called Shadow Demon Luna, and it works to perfection.
Yeah, once they got the gem, techies, and having a Timber Saw as well meant you could just clear out the trees. Yeah, maybe techies gets one kill from the remote mine trap inside the trees. After that, you're just going to constantly be scouting for them with the Timber Saw. So DC, despite never really getting to practice against techies, adapted extremely well to this pocket strat.
Now moving forward.